Hey, what up, YouTube fam? It's Dupree, aka Darth Hater here, and we're doing something a little bit different today. I know, I always cover my Star Wars and Jurassic Park content, but we got the freaking Michael Jackson teaser trailer for the movie Michael, the biopic Michael. I heard word that this was coming out today, so we're definitely gonna react to it, and then we're gonna have some thoughts. But anyway, let's get on to it. 3, 2.
I know you've been waiting a long time for this.
For real.
The tracks are made, the songs are ready. Let's take it from the top.
Wow.
This is your
Dr.
story.
Stay. Wow.
Honor your past and embrace the future. That's what
Oh, man.
Can you lower the lights for me, please?
Okay, but remember, in here, keep those feet still, my man.
Oh, man. Oh, man. So many thoughts, man. Hold on. We're going to do that one more time. One more time, because one more time. Go. I love that this covers so many different eras of Michael. Oh my God.
Tracks are made,
Quincy Jones.
songs are ready.
Rest in peace, too.
Let's take it from the top. This is your story.
Wow. This looks amazing. Like,
And embrace the future.
Woo.
That's what people want.
Man, this looks amazing.
Q, can you lower the lights for me, please?
Okay, but remember, in here, keep those feet still, my man.
Oh, man. Okay, thoughts. Like, all right. So I stopped it right here because I had to watch it a few more times, before I talked about it with you guys. As you guys know, I'm obviously a huge Star Wars fan. I'm also a huge Jurassic Park fan, like I cover a lot of Jurassic Park stuff on this channel, Indiana Jones. Some of you guys that know me know I'm also a huge Michael Jackson fan. Michael Jackson has been a part of my childhood since birth. I actually used to be a dance teacher. I learned how to dance from mimicking and watching Michael Jackson specials on TV. A lot of myself comes from that man and what he did and what his family did, back in the day. I remember hearing about this trailer, this movie, for a long time. And here, I live here in LA, and you hear a lot of things, and I heard that they were casting for it. And I unfortunately missed out on it. Like I said, I'm a huge fan, live here, grew up in LA. I actually met him. When I was a kid and went to Neverland. And I know every time I hate to say it whenever I say I went to Neverland as a kid, somebody always has to, did something happen? It's like, no, come on now. Like, looking at this trailer, all right, $1 billion movie, just automatic, like, this movie's gonna make $1 billion at the box office. It's gonna be huge. All these other, bio movies about musicians, they come close to Bohemian Rhapsody, and I know that's kind of the goal. That was the first really big, recent, biopic that kind of really made a lot of waves. You had the Elton John movie. You had the Bruce Springsteen movie that just came out. But I know there's a Beatles biopic coming out, and actually multiple Beatles movies because they're following all of them. And this movie has been in production hell for years now, for a good little while, and especially the past couple of years because of one of the court cases. The 1990s court case kind of interrupted a lot with this movie. I won't go into it. It is a lot, but word around camp was they were gonna have to cut this movie into 2 parts. The Michael Jackson estate can't actually touch on or talk about what happened in the 1993 accusations, and that's a big part of Michael Jackson's life. Obviously, if you guys know, they can't talk about the names, the family, or anything. So it's like a huge part of Michael's life to cut out or reshoot. So from what I'm understanding, what I'm hearing, this movie is only going to really show the first half of Michael Jackson's life. So from him being born, the late 50s to the 60s, with the Jackson 5, to the 70s when they become the Jacksons, up until the 80s when Michael becomes who he is, from the Off the Wall to Thriller to the Bad years. So I think this movie cuts off or stops right around Bad. So this movie stops at the end of the 80s. From what I'm hearing, I believe if this movie does really well at the box office, that they will finish the movie. And when I say that, finish the movie, I mean it possibly be a 2-parter. For example, Kill Bill. Kill Bill was 2 movies, and Kill Bill Volume 1 and Kill Bill Volume 2. Volume 1 was all the action. Volume 2 was like the backstory and, kind of the culmination of everything the bride and everybody had to deal with. And, that's the end of the story. So I believe, from what I've been hearing, that this will be a 2-parter. So depending on how well this movie does, then they will go and finish the rest of the story. It's a long story with why they have to do that, but I believe that's what they're gonna do. Michael Jackson's life has been comparable to, say, The Truman Show. When you think about it, we watched this man grow up. Time he was a little boy up until, the day he died. We watched him from 5 years old to 50. Think about that. We on stage his whole life, ups, downs, everything. And you can't just fill that or do that whole movie in 2-3 hours. It's just like they had the Jackson family story. If you guys remember, that TV movie was in so many parts because it's, there's just so much to cover with Michael Jackson and the family. And I already know they're gonna cut a lot and leave out a lot about this because this movie is not really about the family, it's about Michael specifically. I'm even hearing that Janet's not even gonna be in this movie, which is crazy to think about because how are you gonna have a Michael Jackson movie and not incorporate Janet in some form or fashion? I don't know how truthful that is, but it's just what I've been hearing. I actually know a lot of people who actually got casted and were in this movie as background or doubles or, backup dancers. So, a little close to, this. As far as how this looks, my thoughts on it being I'm okay for that. I believe this movie is gonna be $1 billion movie. It's gonna hit. It's gonna make its money back and then some. I don't know, comparable how to Bohemian Rhapsody it's gonna be, box office wise, but it's gonna definitely hit. This is Michael Jackson. I know a lot of you guys, a lot of my younger followers don't know. It's like you would have to have been there to understand the impact this man made on pop culture before social media. Think about this was the most famously depicted person after Jesus. When you think about the after Jesus, there's Jesus and then Michael Jackson and then everybody else after that. People don't comprehend. That's why whenever somebody says, oh, so-and-so is the new Michael Jackson, blah, blah is the new Michael Jackson, Taylor Swift's the new Michael Jackson, it's no. Beyonce's the new no, there's nobody that's comparable. Every pop star, every person that's famous that does music is derivative from him. It's he is the blueprint. People can't comprehend, but this movie will show. This movie will do the best it can to show you what life was like, you know, in the Michael Jackson era. Hell, like, this man's been gone, unfortunately, for 16 years right now, and we're still talking about him. And he's just as big as he was when the day he died. Like, anytime anything happens with Michael Jackson, like, you know, news. Like I said, I really hope this movie does well and we get a part 2. You know, maybe they'll call it the King of Pop, you know, like, you got Michael, then King of Pop. As far as how the movie looks, it looks great. It looks amazing. I don't know who the cinematographers were or anything, but obviously this movie is directed by Antoine Fuqua, who is an amazing director. Everything he's ever, you know, made is like great. Like, just look at his movie repertoire, like, and then you'll understand. My only gripe, I was just talking to my friend about it. You know, I was just talking to my friend about it, who's also a huge fan, is it looks too clean for me. Like, it looks a little too clean. And I know it's nitpicking, but it's nothing. But when you think about Michael Jackson, you think about, you know, the 60s, Jackson 5, 70s, 80s, 90s. And even when you look at all, like, the footage of Michael, like, it's all, like, grainy and everything. Like, that's, I don't know. Like, I just feel like it's too clean. Whatever, you know, maybe they'll have clips where they show him, like, on TV and it looks fuzzy and distorted or whatever. But like I said, that's just nitpicking. That's nothing big. As far as the casting goes, they couldn't have done any better than, you know, Jaafar Jackson. Jaafar Jackson is actually Michael's nephew. He's Jermaine Jackson's son. And obviously, like, you know, that's his uncle. He knew his uncle well. It's really in the family. And a lot of the family has really signed off on this. I know Prince Jackson, Michael's son, has, you know, given this movie praise, and he's been on set and everything, talked about how emotional this has made him. The rest of the family has seemed really on board with this, and I would hope they are, you know, like the brothers, the Jacksons themselves, like Jackie, Marlon, you know, Jermaine, everybody has signed off on this and said, like, this is a fair representation, and they believe this is gonna do well by Michael. This movie is supposed to come out in this year. It was supposed to come out in April before, like, you know, and obviously the delays with, like, all legalities and everything. But this comes out in April of 2026. Personally, aside from The Mandalorian Grogu, this is like honestly, this is probably for me a little bit like more. I'm looking forward to this a little bit more than The Mandalorian Grogu. And I know that's blasphemous for me to say, like, that's blasphemous, but at the same time, you know, I love Michael Jackson. I listen to his music almost on the daily. I feel like this movie is gonna set a lot of things straight in a different way. I know it's, you know, it's gotta be glossy and it's gotta show you the good parts of Michael Jackson, but it's also gonna show you the complicated parts, like the parts that, you know, people just kind of assume from the media and hearsay and all this and that. Don't believe everything you hear in the media. That's all I'll say. I hope this movie does well. I can't wait for it. I really can't wait for it. I'm gonna watch it a million more times. Anyway, guys, you know, I know I'm rambling like a lot. Like I'm just overjoyed because I'm just really overjoyed with this trailer. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.